think we're live, Glenn. So
Awesome.
welcome. I don't think I've had you before on Medicare Mentors, have I?
Not as a solo guest, that's for sure. I know, I think you, me, and Christian have talked here in Mentors a few times, but yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, well, welcome to Medicare Mentors. And we're also going to share this to the insurance ladies and a couple other groups later. But you were telling me that you were working on something with the turning 65 market. And so I wanted
Yeah,
to bring you on tonight so you can share that with us and tell us what's going on.
absolutely. Right now, you guys, it is February already, and we have at Lead Heroes a promotion going on our turning 65 leads. So it's called our Lead Heroes Loves You sale. That's right. We love you guys. We love all of you agents out there. And part of our Lead Heroes Loves You sale is the discounted turning 65 leads. So normally you have to spend as much as $45, $40 to $45 to get one of these leads. They're all exclusive. We don't share or resell any of our leads that we generate here at Lead Heroes. And right now, until Valentine's Day, you have till the end of the night on Valentine's Day. I know there's going to be some of you scrambling on Valentine's Day. Did I place my order yet? To get these leads at the discount rate of $25 per lead when you order a minimum of 25.
Okay.
So, that being said, and again, I appreciate you having me here in the group so I can share this with everybody. But I'd love to talk about the turning 65 market, especially for some of the newer agents, right? Some agents that are coming in right now at the start of 2022, and explain kind of the pros and cons, because there's some really great upside to the turning 65 market, and then there's some bad things too. So I also wanted to have a conversation with you, Joanna, and kind of get your opinion and your feedback on the turning 65 market.
Okay. So turning 65, in my personal opinion, is like everybody's chasing them. Every call center in America,
Right.
every overseas call center in Pakistan, Philippines, Bangladesh.
That's right.
All of your people. So I never chased the turning 65 person myself because I was like, they are being bombarded with mail and door knockers and phone callers. And, when I see seniors out and about at my events, they say, how do I make my phone stop ringing? And if I get a turning 65, it's usually because they met me in the community. I have a different, this is not a lead training thing or network marketing thing, but I get a lot of T66s because people are retiring later from their jobs if they have like higher income. Like my people who are affected by Irma, they're not taking their retirement at 65. They want to get that full 66 in 4 months in,
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually, so that's part of what we screen when we're generating these leads. Like one of the key screening questions is, are you planning on keeping your coverage through work? Or are you planning on enrolling in Medicare? Because of what you just said, right? So many seniors are retiring later and later. So we're trying to focus on the people who are actually retiring.
I love it. So you always have those 62-year-olds who quit, tell Walmart to take their job and shove it. And they got Social Security now, and then and then they go on to Medicare and they think that it's like the best thing since sliced bread because their company insurance was really bad with high deductibles and stuff, They're not jaded yet, they don't get jaded until a couple of years on Medicare. But yeah, turning 65 market, I always thought it was really hard to penetrate and, because somebody was calling right after you called, so you had to make sure your business stuck, So these leads that you have, how are they generated? Are they like, are they telesales like with high intent, or are they Facebook leads? Tell me about the actual generation.
Yeah, so the data source itself can come from a multitude of different data aggregators, data publishers that we work with, right? So we're focusing on folks 1 to 90 days that they submitted their information within the last 3 months, 1 to 90 days old. Then we're taking based on the states. And that's the one thing I do want to make sure for any agents watching this, or whether you're watching it live right now, or you're watching the replay. And by the way, you guys, feel free to drop a question below the video. I'm happy to answer any of those, whether, again, watching it live or the replay. But we're taking these opt-ins statewide and multi-state sometimes, right? Maybe you're in 3 to 10 states, ideally, if you're selling over the phone. And then we're processing it through the call center. We're asking those screening questions. Are you actually turning 65, right? That's always important. Are you planning on enrolling in Medicare, or are you staying with your group coverage? Obviously, if they say they're staying with their group coverage, that's someone that we wouldn't include. And then, do you want to speak with an agent? So by the time they get to you, they are definitely expecting to talk to you about their upcoming enrollment in Medicare.
Is it a live lead transfer?
This is set up as a callback. So it's going to be batched out within 12 to 24 hours. By the time you have this lead in your possession, it's about 12 to 24 hours old.
Okay. They're still fresh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And with direct mail, I love direct mail. I think direct mail is great. I think every agent should be utilizing it and mixing it in. The one advantage I would say that this type of lead has over direct mail is that it's quick, right? Direct mail can take 5 to 7 days from the time that they filled it out till you actually get it back. And we're verifying the phone number, right? So you have a vetted, authentic phone number where we actually spoke to them at. You get the recording of the call with the lead. But when you get that, and you can call them back. Now, how you work the lead, you mentioned telesales. Is this a high intent telesales lead? We have a lot of people who sell this lead over the phone. Whether you're in a call center environment, you're just at home selling over the phone as an independent agent. You could obviously work this face-to-face as well. Before the pandemic, I would say probably most of our T65 leads were being worked face-to-face. Now it's different. Almost all of our leads are worked over the phone. But, when you get that lead and you make that phone call back, hey, Mrs. Jones, you got that phone call yesterday talking about your upcoming enrollment in Medicare. If you have a minute, I want to go through a couple things with you to see where you're at. Do you have your Part A and Part B done yet? Let's talk about supplement versus advantage coverage, and just kind of getting into that whole conversation. Obviously, there's going to be kind of a wide variety of responses you'll get at that point. But I think the key is, like you said, having someone that you can reach out to right away. What as far as the advanced enrollment, what's something that you think agents are missing with the turning 65 leads? 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, where do you think the sweet spot is to hit the turning 65 market?
I think to get them before they have probably in 4 months before their actual birthday.
Yeah.
Just because if they haven't taken their Social Security yet, then they have to go apply on Social Security for their Medicare and everything. And I know that everybody's complaining about delays and getting Medicare cards and stuff like that.
Right.
My old coworkers at Social Security are quite burnt out.
I bet.
I am so glad I don't work there anymore. I can imagine all these seniors yelling at me that they didn't get their Medicare card now.
Yeah.
I think if you get somebody and start educating them before they need to apply online and walk them through it. And we have a bunch of agents that have phenomenal videos on showing people how to do that. Andy Stevens is watching stuff. I think that's critical now, is to be the educator, because if the person that doesn't do the educating and just says, hey, call Social Security and do it yourself, you're probably losing a lot of business, because some people, they just get stuck in the how to do it. They're intimidated,
Right.
A lot of people are intimidated by doing anything on a government website by themselves. They, my mom, she wouldn't have done it herself,
Right.
It's probably worse than filing your own taxes, right? So I encounter a lot of people that are like, even the, more educated, they're like, okay, now how do I do this? And what do I do? And where do I go? And they want to know all that way before they actually have to do it. A lot of them have anxiety about it, anxiety about the unknown to them. So the more piece you can put on early on, like if you can catch them 4 or 5 months out and just do the education. And like normally when I encounter someone like that, I already have it sold before they even get their car. They already know what route they want to go.
Yeah.
And we've already put their information in on Medicare Center or whatever technology I'm using. So
Right.
it's already there. I'm just waiting for their card to come in so they can sign the application, you know.
100%.
I think,
We're,
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, when we're targeting, we target 2 to 5 months out.
Mm,
You know, you get past, and you, I think you just said it perfectly, right? That 4 to 5 month window, obviously you can't enroll them in their plan at that
mhm.
point, but being able to have that conversation before they do hit that 3 month, 1 to 3 months where they can't actually enroll, I think you're going to separate yourself from the pack. They're getting inundated with
Yeah.
marketing, like you said also earlier. They're getting phone calls, they're getting mail, they're getting emails. There could be people knocking at their door. You have to separate yourself from the masses. And I think if you can hit them a little early, and we get
Mhm.
complaints at Lead Heroes, you guys will get someone, well, these D65 leads, they're 5 months from their turning 65. I can't enroll any of these people. I'm like, that's, yes, you can. You might have to wait, right? There's a sales cycle. I mean,
Right.
I used to write fully underwritten life insurance. That's not paying out anytime soon. You know, that's an 8 week process. So I like the 5 4 month window. I really do.
Mhm.
I think if you even go further out, it's even better. I like up to 6 months, honestly. But yeah, 2 to 5 months is kind of the standard that we target for these.
I have somebody that I helped the wife, and then I helped him get on an ACA plan because he lost his Cobra this month, last month.
Mm,
And so I put him on an ACA plan, and he gets his Medicare in November. And we've already had the discussion, and
right.
he's already pre-sold. He already knows.
Yeah.
No, he's not turning 65. He's actually has a disability. But you know, I already showed him what the med sup prices look like for his age and
Right.
everything, and explained it's going to be a little bit different than his older wife and everything. You can sell it ahead of time, and you tell them, all right, so we've already made. If you want to make another decision, just let me know. I do
Yep.
everything. I work for everybody in the state of Georgia, Glenn, including Kaiser. I don't have a
Yep.
bias. You know, I don't care what you choose. The only thing I ask, and I learned this from Joe Trottola because I used to help people, and then I wondered, like one person, they ended up doing business with somebody else, and I felt really heartbroken. Joe Trottola taught me this. I know he is a friend of yours. He said to get the
Absolutely.
commitment up front that they're going to work with you. And so you
Yeah.
know, in exchange for my time and expertise, Glenn, the only thing I ask for is when the day comes and you get that card, that whatever enrollment you choose to do comes through my office. Fair enough?
Yeah.
And you know, but I mean, I don't care if someone's, you know, 10 months out, 11 months out, we can talk. I'm gonna put your fears at bay. I'm gonna give you the whole rundown of the time frame and
Yep.
everything. So you're not feeling like you're rushed to make a decision, and you
Right.
have all the education that you can read over. If you want to read the Medicare and U book front and back, make highlights and everything, you know.
Yeah. There's some of
So
those out there.
yeah, but like, you know, I don't understand why agents say, well, they're 5 months out, I can't sell them anything. Sure, you can. You can do everything in Medicare Center, and then when they get
Yep.
their card, it's just a matter of clicking, send the scope text, and then send the enrollment email. I mean, that's 5 minutes worth of work right there. It's already done.
I like that. I just want to clip out what you just said right there. And I will literally be sending that to, I'll be like, hey, look at this. This is Joanna Wyckoff. She's going to explain to you why you can sell these leads 5 months in advance. Yeah, it's mind blowing to me. Some of the most successful agents I know have really structured their business around that. And whether, you know, the birthday rule is another example of kind of this open enrollment
Mm-hmm.
that certain states have. And it's the same thing. You know, they can only enroll during this special window. And so if it's before that special window, they can still pre-sell the application and have it all ready to go. So once it's time for their enrollment, you're good to go. Now, you know, you're going to lose some of those, but how many, if you really do a good job pre-selling, like you just mentioned, Joe, you know, shout out to Joe Trottola, absolutely ask for that commitment. I love that kind of an old school sales approach, and it works. You know, how many of those pre-sales do you think you're actually going to lose if you do it the right way?
Well, the right way is the follow up, right? So if you don't
Right.
follow up, they're gonna fall in love with somebody else. Glenn, if you don't call your date and start and keep dating her,
We're
right?
back to Valentine's now. I love it. I love
Right. But when you were courting your wife,
it.
right? You didn't just ghost her and let another man talk to her, right?
No, you can't.
You had
You
to
can't. You gotta shut that window,
you
right?
had to stick around, right? So
Yeah.
I believe in the drip campaign, and I use I'll shout out Eric Fiero on here, using something like
Absolutely.
Go High Level, and letting people know that who you are, like they should know your name, they should get your
Yeah.
newsletter, put them in your campaign. Like there's no reason why you can't send them a birthday card if their birthday's before, if the birthday's before they're actually going to enroll. But getting an early
Yep.
birthday card, some seniors never get a card from anybody. People have told me that Christmas and birthday cards I send out are usually the only cards they get, right? So if
Yep.
I'm calling them in November and their birthdays in February or March, they're getting a Christmas card from me if they're on my lead list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just drip on them, and they should have my email. I usually send them a bunch of emails with the PDFs, CMS stuff to back me up and everything, and the Medicare and U book they get by email from me, and choosing a Medigap, and they have my email. I'm a legit person, and so they normally don't
Right.
want to answer the phone and talk to Glenn in Oregon, because they don't know Glenn in Oregon. Normally, and this is just behaviors, normally when someone has already given you all their drugs, they don't want to give you somebody else all their drugs, right?
Right.
People don't like to repeat themselves, so they'll say, I already have a girl,
Yeah.
if you showed up, right? And
Right. Yeah.
so if you follow your own sales process, you shouldn't lose very many. I mean, I've dropped the ball on a couple. I actually have to call somebody back. I forgot to get back to him in the middle of my COVID spiel.
Yeah.
But that's me dropping the ball on him. He didn't ghost me. I ghosted him with my COVID.
Yeah.
And so having a sales process is critical. And I see a lot of agents out there with just nothing, maybe an Excel spreadsheet.
Right.
And I mean, it's hard to run leads and know who said what on an Excel spreadsheet.
100%. I love the idea of getting content out to them before their 65th birthday, whether that's a newsletter, a birthday card, a follow-up letter. The more touches you guys make. And I think if I had to guess on these turning 65, the market of turning 65, even though the average senior turning 65 may receive 100 marketing advertisements, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably only going to get presented to 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if you do end up getting in that door, and whether you're physically in the door or virtually, you're on the phone, and if you make that presentation, whether that's early in the process, right, 4 or 5 months out, or even if you're closer to 1 to 2 months out, maybe they already talked to someone, but your odds of getting them at that point, if you are presenting, is pretty high, because they're not going to listen. I just like what you said, that's really been my experience too. I think the average senior is only going to probably hear out 1 to 3 agents on average. Probably they're not going to sit there and fill out I want to talk to every single person. They're done. They want to do it, and they want to be done. I really think that is the case with most of these seniors.
And then I've talked to some people that have talked to other agents, and other agents have never asked them some questions like what their income is. Like one guy,
right.
I got him and his wife and a bunch of his friends because I asked him the question. There's an appropriate way to ask this, and I don't mind sharing. But I said, hey, Glenn, I'm going to ask you some questions to see if you qualify or are affected by any federal, state, or manufacturer programs. Do you mind? And most people say no, right?
Yeah.
So I explained why I'm asking,
Great question.
right?
Yeah.
And then I ask, are you a single man or a married man? And they'll tell me. And then I ask the IRMA question, because that's usually the biggest thing I get beat over the head if I forget to tell someone about IRMA.
Right.
Why did Social Security say I owe them $500 more? IRMA. And anyways, I told someone about IRMA that the previous agent didn't, and I sent him the following documents with the scale and everything, and explained how to fill out the form when he retired to get it reduced. And he's like, "You're the only one who's ever told me this." And he brought me all of his friends, and most of his friends were highly affected by Irma too. Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yes.
And so I think it's just important to be the standout agent, just stand out. Some agents only do Med Sup, some only do Medicare Advantage because they think it pays them more. I don't know why. I think you should be versed in everything. You might have two parents who go down two different roads. It's, but yeah, I think it's great having and so this is the problem that a lot of agents have had, Glenn, is a lot of agents have said, "Joanna, my mail has dried up," right?
Yeah.
And then like a lot of them, they don't know about the Facebook leads, or people said, "Well, stop calling me about that damn dental." Right. So I like the callback leads because that they answer the phone because they answered the phone for you.
Yep.
Right. Me personally, I don't answer the phone for anybody I don't know. So I understand them, but they already answered the phone, so they're probably going to answer the phone when I call back one of your leads.
Right.
And you already screened them. So it's probably not if I'm helping them, but what I'm helping them with, because they've already been screened.
Exactly. Yeah. The one caveat to this that I do want to mention, you guys, is like we've already talked about here during this conversation, is these people are highly wanted. There's a ton of marketing and advertising. And so, the biggest problem, once you get them on the phone, there's a chance that they're somewhere in that conversation with another agent. Maybe another agent had tried to get a hold of them. Maybe they just responded to a direct mail piece a week ago. So a lot of times you're going to catch people that they're somewhere in this process between haven't started at all to, well, I'm 90% of the way there, but I'm going to listen to your pitch anyways because I want to make sure I'm getting a good deal. You're going to catch people anywhere in that mix. But just like you said, the big advantage here is they have a much higher propensity to pick up the phone versus you just calling someone randomly versus potentially a Facebook lead or a direct mail lead where they don't even want to be called. So you do have a significantly higher chance of getting them on the phone. And that's a huge advantage to have that. They're screened, they're expecting a call, the lead's less than a day old by the time you're able to call them back. I really feel like when it comes to your marketing tool belt, this should be in your arsenal. I'm not that you should go all in on one thing. Hey, if you want to, we're here, but the goal should be diversification. If your mail's slowing down, have internet leads ready, have telemarketed leads ready, be able to stay busy no matter what marketing is coming back, because that's, AEP, which we know just wrapped up. Can't tell you how many people and agents, and I'm sure you saw the same thing, where they were like, "Oh man, my one marketing source didn't work. Shucks, I don't know what to do now." That should never be the case, right?
So I had an agent call me last week. Their lead house, the direct mail lead house, got shut down in their state for their card. I think it was Iowa. Apparently is really tough on direct mail vendors, and he has to find a new marketing source, a new lead source. But it happens. It's happened to all of us where we sent out all this mail. We thought we were gonna be swimming in gold, and then you got 0.7% back, right?
Right.
So I like these because I can literally say, "Hey, I want to go work in Fulton County next week. Glenn, get me some Fulton County leads." And how long does it take to get them done?
Yeah, so it's typically about a week turnaround. If we end up getting a little busier, it can take like a week and a half, but somewhere between a week and a half. And then the biggest hurdle is, because again, we're micro targeting here, 2 to 5 months, turning 65 people that we have in our database. So, ideally, if we can get statewide, some counties are big enough, you guys. There's some counties that have millions and millions of people where you can literally give us a county and we can pull turning 65 leads out. Typically though, we need groups of counties or an entire state or even a multi-state area. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, it's about a week turnaround, week and a half turnaround. We can get these generated.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
We are short on time because we have another class right after.
Yes.
But I wanted to thank you for coming. Any last words, or how do they get the sale?
Absolutely. So I'll drop a link in the comments below this video, but for anyone who's watching this, you go to leadheroes.com, LEADHEROES, go to leadheroes.com. You'll be able to purchase directly right there through the website. If you want to schedule a call and chat with someone on my team or myself personally, you can schedule a call right there through the website, or shoot us an email, leads, LEADS, leads at leadheroes.com. And we can do all sorts of things. We can, give you guys some samples so you know exactly what you're getting. We can pre-check the area if you're wanting to know, well, I want to target this area. Are you guys actually gonna be able to generate leads in that area? And just kind of walk you through the whole process. But yeah, right there on leadheroes.com, $25 T65 leads when you order a minimum of 25 until Valentine's Day. We love you. We love you guys. So again, Joanna, I really appreciate your time having me on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of 2022. Should be an awesome year.
Much. And just so everybody knows, I don't allow a lot of vendors in my groups. Glenn has always been very professional and helpful and sharing a lot of wisdom in the groups. And that's why he's one of the very few vendors that's allowed in here, and we bring him on because he has specific knowledge to help us. He always comes with his sales tips and scripts and everything. And I really appreciate that, Glenn, because a lot of people slide in my DMs trying to sell me all these leads from Pakistan. And I was like, I already have a guy.
Just like turning 65, I love it.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for participating with Medicare Mentors.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate your time.